three areas need active work right now in the field of bioethics. And the first is our basic practice of bioethics in healthcare, which is how do we make bioethics and ethics consultation available to the patient and the family at the bedside, in a hospital, in a hospice organization, or some other time when they really have this question about, do their values align with their care trajectory, and do those values clash in any way with the institution or with law, and how can we help them reconcile that clash of values and really help them arrive at the best trajectory of care, the best amount of care, and really align with their wishes, while also providing the healthcare providers with some technical assistance and just another mind to be at the bedside with that patient and family. So that's one of the first challenges, is building and bolstering that service. And then one of the second challenges is this advent of technology that continues to press on the field of bioethics. It drives the entire field forward and always has. And today, we're really looking at algorithms and their use in healthcare. And the problem of how do we select, develop, deploy, and iterate algorithms in healthcare is a pressing question, a huge challenge for the field. And there is room and space for bioethics to have an imprint on that area of practice to be sure that humans come to the table and have a part in decision making and have a part in the guardrails and kind of safety processes that need to be in place to ensure that we are really responsible in our use of algorithms in healthcare. So AI, it's here to stay, and it's a challenge of the field of bioethics to respond to that and really have the practice of bioethics contribute to the solution. And then one of the final areas that we are working on is this area of health equity and justice. There's a huge shift in healthcare and needing to spend on community services and population health and reaching beyond the four walls of a clinical space to impact long-term health outcomes. And so the problem for bioethics is, what is our role in that shift of focus from clinical care to community care? How might the practice of bioethics really provide some framing and justification for that work? And how do we listen to people, just like we do at the bedside for ethics services? How do we listen to people in the deliberative democracy space, in the public health space, and really create solutions that kind of meet their expectations and align with community will? So those are, I think, the three main challenges and the three areas of the center's work right now. They keep us engaged. One thing that the center is doing on ethics services is we're really excellent at being a neutral, kind of objective voice in a healthcare setting at the side of providers and administrators and other divisions and entities within a healthcare system or a hospice organization. And we are able to come beside them and build their capacity, provide them suggestions with standard practice, with ways to bolster their internal ethics mechanisms. And that work really opens additional opportunity for ethics services to be available to a broader patient population. So if an organization does that work really, really well through the center's help, then more of that is available to patients. And there's better outcomes then for them as they go through their care trajectory. So we're working very hard to kind of build that as a service that really has deep sustainability, deep connection to the needs of healthcare organizations, and can bring our professional bioethicists to bear on those pressing questions. Within the ethical AI space, it's very similar to our approach for ethics services, in that we want to partner with healthcare to ensure that they have access to resources, expertise, and thought leadership that can help them frame an approach to the use of algorithms in their organization. So we are actually right now working on meeting with healthcare organizations to have workshops around infrastructure that supports a process that includes ethics and consideration of their use of algorithms. And we believe that will be an ongoing service offering to healthcare organizations moving forward. And then in deliberative democracy, we're at the research and development phase of a new tool to engage the public and really anyone with a very diverse set of views. So from across the political aisle, from across the geography in an area, across all types of boundaries, we are working to have a tool that brings those folks together to talk in a very constructive way about an ideal solution to a public health problem or some other problem that's really happening in the community. And the process works well. After these deliberative democracy sessions, they come out with an idea of a sort of a consensus path forward to a solution to the problem that they're thinking about and addressing. And our center is working hard to make that more available, make sure it works really, really well, and has a scientific rigor behind the approach to ensure that we have confidence that it's doing its job. Well, we have always benefited from all types of minds and all types of contributions to the center. So we welcome additional thought partners in how we're approaching each of those three issues. We oftentimes get reached out to from individuals across the country working on a similar problem in their local area, and they've been exposed to some of our resources, some of the webinars we've hosted, or some of the really renowned speakers that we brought in to certain events. And they ask us to help them think through an issue more deeply, or they have a specific problem that they're working on and they know we are equipped to handle it. So just reaching out is one way that folks can get involved. And then we rely on the generosity of philanthropy and donors across the Kansas City region and across the nation. And that type of contribution really helps us further this work, keep our focus on our mission, and ensure really that we have the reach and the depth of impact in community that we need to be the most effective that we can be. And then finally, we are working with a variety of volunteers. Usually they are at our organizations that we work in professionally, but they are the front line of ethics in healthcare. And so volunteering in those roles of serving on an ethics committee, being involved somehow in an organization that provides ethics services to patients and families is another great way for people to become engaged.